Thank you very much for joining us. This is Serious Matters on ONIF TV. My name is Olukunle Bram, and of course, let's begin with this particular one making the rounds this morning. Running an election isn't cheap. Tinubu support group. Kehinde Bamigbe, co-founder of Grassroots Network for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says there is nothing wrong with the presence of bullion vans at the Borderlands residence of the All Progressive Congress leader on the eve of the presidential elections in 2019. Bamigbeton, a former with Nigeria Info, credits to Nigeria Info Daily Digest program, speaking on the radio program aired on Wednesday and monitored by our correspondents, Bamigbeton said running an election is not a cheap affair, noting that some circumstances warrant the movement of cash during electioneering. Come on. No. This is Serious Matters anyway. It's open. It's an open platform where you can drop your comments, and of course, you should make them simple and simple. But then, making a statement such as this sounds somehow. It sounds somehow to me. This is a country where and all of that. Then what's the money for? In a private residence. But then let's see what happens. Said viral pictures on the eve of the 2019, just like you can see behind me. Presidential election had shown two cash-laden bullion vans driving into Tinubu's Borderlands. The then acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Mago, had refused to answer a question regarding a petition submitted against Tinubu for alleged money laundering. Now, Tinubu, now in 2023 presidential hopeful election, the presidential with his presidential ambition, stated during an interview that the money belonged to him and he was free to distribute it to his supporters since he was not a government official. Now, when told by the host of the Lagos or the radio program Jimmy Disu that the Bullion Vans episode should not have happened in the first instance, Bamigbeto said the circumstances will determine. Let us be practical about this matter. We want to run and start a statewide election. This is 2 days or 3 days to that election. You have days across Lagos states. Running an election is not a cheap affair for a whole state or for a whole country. And certainly you either move the fund through electronic system or phone or physically. What I am just saying is that there are some circumstances that create such. It is because the emergence of that time required that the funds and the logistics be deployed almost immediately. Well, I'll wait your response on this particular interview and response or response to questions by this particular person. Anyways, in addition to this, maybe we should just add a few political updates to what we already have. Senator Bola Bukola Saraki, I beg your pardon, Bukola Saraki, had declared his intention to run for a president, a current serving senator, Okorocha, former governor of Imo State, has also declared his intention to run for the president's seat in 2023, which makes the race very, very interesting. And while I was just, thinking about and looking at the whole thing together, considering the caliber of people who are coming in, to contest for the seat of the president, then we would have no choice but to conclude that it's going to be very interesting in the sense that they're going to be, every one of them have favorites, have people who are following them. And as against what happened in Ekiti during the primaries that was held yesterday, delegates were said to be showing former Governor Ayodele Fayose their votes for a particular candidate, and BC Kolawole was said to have won that particular election, or said to have won the primaries of the PDP, and of course taking the tickets for that particular party. Well, and so it makes the whole thing it makes the whole race very, very interesting, especially the presidential race. Very, very interesting because, like I was going to say earlier on, we have people in the north who love Tinubu. We have people in the north who love Saraki. We have people in the north who love Okorocha. We have people in the north who love Umai, and all of them, coming out just about the same time. And so we would have votes being divided. Now, the chunk of votes that were coming to just one person those days, will now be broken down now. But then we wait for the first leg of the election, which of course is the primaries, knowing who is going to clinch the ticket for each of the parties. Now we have a number of them on the PDP. We have a number on the APC with the national leader and former Lagos State Governor Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu being at the top, as it were. But then we also had responses from, I think, Ogunlewe saying that it is not wrong for Tinubu, what's his name, Osibajo, asking Osibajo not to contest because of Tinubu is undemocratic. And that is coming from Ogunlewe saying that asking Osibajo not to contest is undemocratic. Well, Senator Adesheye Ogunlewe, former Minister of Works and Housing and Chieftain of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, speaking with Temidayo Akinsuye on development in the party on the 2023 presidential election. He also shares his thoughts on threats by his former party, the People's Democratic Party, to stop the reign of the APC in 2023. Well, there has been wars of war, and he has responded saying that it will be undemocratic to stop Osibajo from contesting, not declared his intention as to whether he's going to run, for this for the president's seat or not. Yes, he's had a lot of followers clamoring for people already creating posters. I wonder the way people do things. Some people are just there spending money to print posters on behalf of these people, even when they have not declared their intentions. Well, Ogunlewe says that it is undemocratic to stop anyone who is qualified from contesting the seat of the president, especially, when you consider the relationship between Asiwaju and the current vice president. One will wonder, well, but like as it has always been my opinion that, look, Baba, I would have preferred that you be Baba, Baba and Baba, there, and let the young ones. But then let's see how everything unfolds. Well, this is still